during summer when they're this size. Look at that, it's like a little chipolato with legs. Little tiny warthog. Only 2 though, which is not many for a warthog. There's at least 2 females in the vicinity here. So whether the other one didn't have warthogs, I'm not sure. Or little piglets. Well, hey man, ja, shame, poor zebra. Hopefully if it's a muscular thing, she will recover in time. And we wish her all the best with her impending labour, which I wouldn't be surprised is going to be tonight. Such is her condition, shall we say. But lovely to see, say, more new life. I think it's just one of these females. The females, one of them you could see had quite distended mammary glands. The other one I didn't notice the mammary glands so much. So I think these belong to one of the females. Shame you're even smaller. Dilly bee, yeah, look at them go, eh? I so want a baby warthog in my life. Unfortunately, though, when they get a little bit older, things would get more complicated. Now, you see, that one, you can't really see its teats, so maybe that is mum, maybe it's one each. It's interesting to kind of work out who's who. The fact that the little one has gravitated towards this female, maybe this is mum, or maybe that's one each. But normally they'll have 4 or 5 in a litter, but of course their mortality rate is quite high. At that age they're susceptible to anything, even relatively small birds of prey can take out a warthog, so can a snake. I don't know if jackal has ever caught a baby warthog, but I don't see why not. But yeah, I actually thought it was the other one who was mum, because the other one has got more obvious mammary glands. So maybe she's got really tiny ones who are still back in a den site. But see, even at that young age, they've learnt the technique to feed down on those hocks, down on those front ankles. But when you have very little neck to speak of, it's just easier to bend your knees to get your mouth closer to the grass. Yeah, safest place to be, peas to you, definitely. Mum may not look it, but is pretty formidable. She doesn't have a particularly large set of tusks. Sorry, I may sneeze. Hang on. No, I think we've got away with it. Yes, she doesn't have the biggest set of tusks, but she is still super strong. And so very, very protective of those youngsters. And yeah, do not find yourself in an argument with a warthog, because it will not end well. Also one of those old truths in the bush: you don't walk past a warthog burrow if you can help it, particularly early morning when they may have yet to come out of their burrow. They do have a tendency to explode out of their burrows at the sign of danger, as opposed to retreating into the burrow. And with those tusks, the ones that you see on the top, the sort of curved ones, are more for show than anything else. The ones you need to be careful of, the ones on the bottom jaw, they are far less obvious, but they are super sharp. And so I do know somebody who made that mistake of accidentally walking in front of a warthog burrow. The warthog shot out of the burrow, went straight between the legs, and gashed both of those shins wide open. If I remember rightly, it was 16 stitches in one shin and 17 stitches on the other leg, as those two razor sharp sets of tusks on the bottom jaw just sliced through the leg as they went. See, this one's got very extended mammary glands. You can see them from that angle. So I wonder if she's got some tiny little ones maybe back in a burrow somewhere. Okay, speaking of tiny and little,